What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Fan Report, where it's by fans.
For fans.
Coming at you guys live from Detroit, Michigan.
Detroit, Michigan.
We thank you guys for coming and watching our Deadpool review. Obviously, this is, well, our Deadpool review. As you can kind of tell by our good friend over here, our good masked friend. But we did see the movie Thursday night.
I'm Deadpool.
You are Deadpool. I'm Nick. This is Andrew. We make up the Fan Report.
Fuck's Andrew. I'm Wade.
Sorry, Wade. You really gonna just try to pull this off? I don't think Deadpool had like a full beard sticking out from underneath the mask. I like it though. I like the costume.
Yeah.
I like the it's a onesie, isn't it?
It's a onesie.
It's a onesie. Okay.
Yes, this is a fun gag, but really my main motivation is there's no more comfortable way to do this show.
Honestly, I think you're right.
This is the most comfortable way to do this review.
I've never
general.
done the show in a onesie before, and I kind of want to now.
Oh yeah, it's amazing.
It sounds like it gets too hot though.
I think this is the third time I've been on here.
Because
in a
this room
onesie.
already gets hot as shit when the door's shut.
It doesn't get very hot.
Really? Okay. All right. Well, let's get things going then. We did see Deadpool 2 Thursday night.
Clearly.
Yes. Opening night
Clearly.
in IMAX.
Clearly.
Well, they might not know that. You guys, if you wanted to see our reaction to it, our immediate reaction, you could have seen it on Stardust.
You can still see it on Stardust.
You can still see it on Stardust. We tweeted it out. You just got to download that Stardust app and then go over and search for Fan Report and follow us there.
Yes.
But anyways, without taking up too much time, let's go ahead and just start our review here. Andrew,
and then we had another review yesterday. We had the non-spoiler yesterday.
we did have the non-spoiler yesterday. Big warning, this is the spoiler review.
Yes.
So before we get into this, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert.
So if you want to see the non-spoiler, head over to Twitch.
Yes, head over to Twitch, look at the
See
vibe
how we
there.
have all our different reviews in different places?
That is kind of weird.
We're like scattered around.
Yeah, we do. Well, it's only in two different
You know
places.
what it reminds me of?
What?
Remember This Is the End? Or Tim Rice, like, I've been dumping loads all over this. I come on the furniture, I come on the walls. I come anywhere I want.
Jesus.
Dumping loads like a dump truck all over.
That's disgusting. Anyways, so big time spoiler alert, but here we go, guys. Andrew, I guess where do we start with this? Because Deadpool is just all over the place.
We can structure the same way we did our last review, positives and negatives.
Okay, then let's start with negatives first.
Sure.
End it on a positive note. Really, my only negative with this edition of the Deadpool universe, I guess, the Deadpool franchise, is I'm not gonna lie. I think I enjoyed the story in the first one better. I felt like there was more of a constructed story, more something more concrete. It was more believable. It hit a little harder. I felt in this one there was a lot of between the two main motivations in this movie, which was the kid and obviously Deadpool. I didn't feel like the relationship between the two was very believable. I
Yes.
thought it was kind of forced, and I never really. I guess they kind of show you a motivation behind it, but they never really give you a full relationship between the two. That you always felt like there was another way he could do this, or he didn't have to go to the lengths that he did to do what he needed to do. I thought that was one of the negatives that I really. I just felt like the relationship wasn't very believable. And Deadpool 1, all the relationships were very believable. All the relationships seemed very, forefront and really pushed the movie along. Whereas that relationship there, I felt was lacking behind the rest of the other characters in the movie.
And that's basically my main point too. And just hammering in because we can get a little more detail now. This is a spoiler review. It's just with that kid. Like I thought. First of all, I thought both. I can't remember the guy who plays the kid and the kid who plays the kid in the movie. I can't remember her name. And and Ryan Reynolds, they both give great performances. Obviously, Ryan Reynolds gave great performances. But the kid did well. I thought
he
the kid
did pretty
really
well.
good. But my main thing was like, you didn't see Deadpool really care for anyone in the first one except for his girl, right?
Right.
And I guess, and then like he didn't really care for the kid either.
No,
But-
he didn't. I mean, okay, so obviously it's full of spoilers. So he kind of faux cared about him.
Like he cared about him because
Of the motivation of what he. Let's be real here. He
how
wanted to die.
How he not even that.
He
like,
wanted to die so he could be with this girl.
it was kind of how
With
he
Ness,
interpreted
with
like a
Ness.
little message from Vanessa.
Yeah,
like,
which is him. He
making this
basically
near-death
wanted to die so he
experience.
could be with Vanessa, and she kept pushing him back, saying, "Your heart's not in the right place. Your heart's not in the right place."
Yeah.
And then he had like a come to Jesus moment,
Yeah.
an epiphany, where he was just
Yeah.
like, "Boom, it's the kid." And then it feels like throughout the movie, he's just forcing himself to care about this kid that he has no idea about. That's, in all honesty, kind of an asshole. Really awkward, but kind of an asshole too. And doesn't seem to want to have any kind of relationship with him at all after, the prison scene or the icebox scene. But
where he tells Cable, "I don't care about this kid. Like we're not."
right, yes. I had one other negative though, which I actually thought was the character of Russell. I just didn't feel like he was a very believable, motivated character. I felt like a lot of the things that he did were kind of for stupid ass reasons. I don't think the motivation for Cable's character coming from Russell's character, Fire Fist, I think his superhero name is.
Yeah, I mean, I got the motivation.
I
Personally.
got it for Cable, but I didn't really
I'm talking
believe.
About, you're talking about Cable? Or you're talking about
The
kid?
motivation for Cable, I got where
Oh.
his came from, but I don't quite think it's very believable that the connection from Fire Fist Russell to Cable there. There's no. They had to force that.
What do you mean?
He essentially just kind of went twisted and decided to just kill everybody. He then killed Cable's family. Why? Like, there's no point there. It's just like, oh, boom, kid's just weird now.
Well,
Kid's just crazy.
You already saw.
And why that?
You
Why
already
his
saw the
family?
kid was in a dark place when we first met him because of the way that he was basically abused by that doctor. Or whatever.
Right, we did
Yeah.
see that, but at the same time, enough to go and become a mass murderer. I mean, come on. Sure, everybody's got the limits, but I just felt like it was kind of forced, and I don't feel like Russell's character, the writing of it, did a really good job pushing that motivation forefront. I don't think they did a very good job with that, especially post him coming back to attempt to kill the headmaster of the asylum, essentially. I felt like there was not much of a... They really tried to force that motivation. They just kind of laid it out and said, all right, believe it.
Yeah.
Which I didn't really think was that believable. I think they could have done a lot better to push that along. Because there's a lot of disconnect between old Fire Fist and young Fire Fist. And I felt like there was so much disconnect there that the characters were two completely different. And they were nothing alike in my opinion. And it made it really hard to connect the two. Obviously, I knew they were connected as the same person, but it was very hard for me to go from A to B without there being some weird ass variable in between that we didn't get to see. So that was one of the issues I had. I also felt like Russell was just kind of awkward. I honestly, I think he was the weakest character in the movie. I loved every other character. I just felt like his character could have been done a lot better.
I didn't think it was the weakest character. I would say if I had to pick a weakest character in this movie, I would think it was Weasel, T.J. Miller's character, and that's because of the fact that
Yeah, but he's
he basically-
always been like that.
But no, it kind of felt like he phoned it in. He basically repeated the same jokes he had in the first movie. Like he didn't really go with anything new.
Did. Yeah, I'll agree with you there. He did
repeated
kind of
avocado
yes.
joke. Like
He did redo a lot of the same jokes and a lot of the same persona, which does get kind of tired. But he is kind of a second-rate character in the movie. You don't need to have a bunch of wild moments with him. I just felt like he was a small enough character where it just didn't matter. He's irrelevant, in my opinion. You're right about the fact that he did repeat a lot of the jokes, and he did seem just kind of... There was nothing special there, but he doesn't have to be.
I thought he was a lot better than the first Deadpool, personally.
Yeah,
T.J.
I will
Miller.
say, but it was new. He was a new character in the first Deadpool. But either way, I don't feel like he's important enough to make a really big fuss about. In terms of the bigger characters, though, I definitely think Russell was by far the weakest.
Yeah.
I would have liked to seen more of what's-her-face? The
Domino?
No, the younger girl from the first movie.
Oh, Negasonic Teenage Warhead.
Yes, her. Negasonic Teenage Warhead. I would have liked to see a little bit more of her because she's a
I would have
total
liked
badass.
to learn something about her girlfriend. Like,
Yeah, same. She just kind of like came
just
out of
kinda
nowhere and
a
had
girlfriend,
powers.
And they didn't talk about what her girlfriend is, like,
No.
who she is. Did they show her? I must have missed. Like, did they show her having powers? Her
Yes,
girlfriend?
they did
What was
when
her
they
powers?
showed up in the fight scene
Oh yeah, okay.
where she's
Okay.
kind of like this crazy badass ninja. I would have also liked to have seen more of Domino, as you mentioned. I thought Domino was a total badass. really fun character because it is just blind luck when it comes to her. That's
Yeah.
kind of her power. Luck isn't a
I
superpower.
love that back and forth. The no, it is.
Yes, the
no, it isn't.
dialogue
Yes, it is.
between-
Yes, it is. No, it is.
The dialogue between Deadpool and Domino when they first introduce her characters.
Let's just be in the middle and say no, it isn't.
Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
It's like debating with you. You're like, let's just be in the middle and say no, it isn't. By the way,
I thought-
that ball's about to fall. There you go.
I thought that the X-Force in itself was fun. I would have liked to see more of it.
I thought
obviously-
it was brilliant because of how much they tease the X-Force.
Yes, and then they were in there for a solid 2.5
They blatantly
minutes.
put fake scenes of the X-Force in the trailers.
It wasn't. No, none of the scenes were fake.
No, they had fight
Did they?
scenes with the X-Force in the trailers.
Okay,
yeah.
I didn't see those. Okay. I don't remember those. I just remember the skydiving scene as being
and
like the
then-
main one, and then you had Peter. That
And
scene
then
killed me
You set them up in the movie and then you kill them off right away.
right away. Like they were honestly on screen for 3 minutes,
They were basically just trolling X-Force fans. What they were doing.
which
One giant troll.
in all honesty, I would have liked to see a little bit more of them because I would have loved to see Terry Crews kick some ass. But
I think the funniest part about X-Force is I think we're out of the negatives at this point. I think that was both that one negative.
yeah,
That's the whole,
we're into the positives now.
But I think the funniest part about X-Force was in the post-credit scene when he went back, he only saved Peter. He let everyone else stay dead.
He let everybody else die. Vanisher still got a chance, and no, he doesn't anymore.
By the way, that Brad Pitt cameo for Vanisher.
Yes, that was hilarious.
I think the funniest part about it was reading up after the fact, and the writers had said we were trying to think of the best way we can waste an expensive cameo. So we decided to get Brad Pitt cast an invisible person.
That's awesome.
They said it took Brad Pitt longer to drink the coffee to demand his payment than a shoot scene. He got paid with a coffee.
Nice.
But one thing I want to point out, like, is a little overarching thing that I noticed after the fact. This really this was a response to Logan, like,
Yes,
through and through.
absolutely.
So like Deadpool comes
Like
out,
all the way through.
Deadpool comes out as that R-rated superhero movie that everyone's boasting about, everyone's ragging about, and then Logan comes in the next year
With a serious R-rated
Yeah.
superhero film.
and people, you could say, one-ups Deadpool by upping the stakes and Logan
Yep.
dying, and then Deadpool opens
And
with,
just immediately makes a
with-
joke about how I have to die in this movie now.
it opens with the figure of Logan on the stake from the end of Logan.
But the movie
But the
literally within
actual
the first
plot-
5 minutes
Yeah.
immediately opens with Deadpool going, well, guess what? I'm dying now too.
But like, and then in general, you think about it, the entire plot line was mimicking Logan. He's trying to
Yes.
save a kid. He tries to die for the kid, just like in
Yeah.
He's trying to emulate Logan. He's trying to one up.
And the constant Logan jokes throughout
Yeah.
too. I mean, there was a ton of jokes ripping on DC, ripping on Marvel, ripping on breaking the fourth wall,
absolutely.
ripping on superhero movies in general.
I thought one of the jokes that had me dying the most was that Martha joke.
Yes, that joke was awesome. That and the "Who are you?" Oh
my
man, I
gosh.
guess I can ruin the joke, can I?
Yeah, go for it.
The "Who are you?" Oh, Batman. That killed me. Oh man, I literally bust out loud laughing at that one. That one just absolutely killed me. Oh man.
And then as far as the comment that I made on our non-spoiler review about some of the jokes being a little more inside baseball, for example.
Yes.
And I said I would elaborate on that on this review. So, like, for example, the Passion of the Christ joke, I didn't see, like, I guess it didn't play well in the theater. I don't want to, again, knock on the average theater go, but it is something that you have to keep up with the box office to actually get.
Yeah.
And the thing was that Deadpool was almost the highest grossing domestic R-rated movie of all time, and just barely fell short of topping Passion of the Christ. So, and if people didn't know that, they'd be like, "What the hell? Why is he talking about Passion of the Christ?" Like, and then, and there was another one. What was I gonna say? With the baby feet. The whole scene in general played.
That fucking scene was hilarious.
The whole scene in general played real well.
Oh
but,
man, Lethal Weapon.
But anyway, the whole scene played real well. But what I felt there was one specific part that I felt went over a lot of people's heads because it didn't the one specific part didn't play as well, like as I thought it would have after seeing the part that happened.
Right.
That was the Sharon Stone Basic Instincts reference.
Or sorry, Basic Instinct, not Lethal Weapon. Wow, I'm an idiot. Basic Instinct.
When you saw in the interrogation scene Basic Instinct, where Sharon Stone has her legs crossed.
She uncrossed her legs and opens them.
Crosses the other way.
Yes.
You see a little money shot there.
And you get a full money shot with Deadpool doing the same exact thing.
What a genius way to like reveal that.
Yes. The Basic Instinct reference was on point there, and the having the baby legs just made it so much better, so much better.
and then
that scene killed me. I'm sorry, that scene was so good.
Anyway, the one that I think was the most inside baseball of all the jokes that I think could have gone over a lot of people's heads was when Deadpool was talking about Domino, and basically somehow who created Domino, which is who's Rob Liefeld, who's comic book artist.
Why are you so far off screen? Come on now.
Who's Rob Liefeld, who's a comic book artist, and he says all these X-Force guys suck except for the one that's created by the guy who can't draw feet. And it's like a commonly known fact, like in the comic book industry, that Rob Liefeld like purposely avoids drawing feet. He sucks at drawing feet. So like I appreciate a lot of the inside baseball that was playing in this movie. But I love that term, inside baseball.
I do too because it says baseball.
But anyway, we just went off on a tangent on that one. Anyway,
I also gotta say that while I mentioned how the story in the first one was a lot more believable, and the story would make it a little bit better, I will say that the second movie is funnier than the first. The jokes are laden all throughout the film, beginning to end, and they're all over the place. And it's honestly nonstop laughter, nonstop. You finally catch your breath from the last joke, and then all of a sudden, boom, he says, "I'm Batman," and then you're dying again. Or he makes a Martha joke, or he makes a DC or a Marvel joke.
The Hawkeye reference.
Yes, the Hawkeye reference. I mean,
this is Hawkeye.
All the jokes that just came out of nowhere that you were like, damn, he went there.
He called just with Josh Brolin alone. He called him Thanos. He called him One-Eyed Willie. Yeah, that's the humor I appreciate with Deadpool though. Is the self-referential as well as self-aware humor.
Self-depreciating humor, whatever the term is.
Yeah.
Self-deprecating, I think.
Sure. Yeah, not depreciating.
Yeah, self-deprecating, I think it is.
But also, they did the callback again in the in the mansion about why don't we have any X-Men?
Yes.
And then you finally saw all the X-Men ever.
And then they shut the door.
I thought that was hilarious.
They just kind of slowly shut the door on it.
Because you think, they're playing on the same joke again from the first movie, and then it just gets that much better when you see they actually do have all the X-Men just hiding. Oh man, but no, that I thought the jokes, maybe 90-95% of the jokes played real well.
I even would go higher than 90-95. I would be up towards 95 to 98. 98%. I can't really even think of too many jokes that just didn't hit. I thought all of them hit so well. Some better than others, but I thought all of them hit just so well that it made the movie in every way. I mean, obviously with Deadpool, the humor's the focal point, but it really made the movie here. Because again, whereas in the first one, you could argue that the story helped carry the movie and the humor added to it. Whereas in this movie, I felt like the humor carried the movie and the story added to it. And like they left nothing unexplored too. Like even the score, they took out the Latin words and replaced them with shit like "holy shit balls" and "you can't stop this motherfucker." Holy shit balls! Holy shit balls! So, by the way, fun fact. Deadpool's like the actual album for the score of Deadpool is the first movie score to be given a parental advisory. Really? That's exciting. Good for them. That's exciting. That's a feat.
Yeah.
Well, when you have a song titled "You Can't Stop This Motherfucker" and they say
and another song titled "Holy Shit Balls."
In that song, yes, it's going to be parental advisory suggested or something like that. Whatever. Yes.
Any other like funny gags I saw too? Like, what was some of your favorite gags in this movie?
Honestly, the Martha and the Batman one were great. I thought the digs at DC were hilarious. I thought the Thanos reference was on point. Let me try to think here. Just the witty banter that you get with Deadpool that you've come to know. I thought they took it to a new level in this movie. Versus Deadpool 1, I thought the witty banter in Deadpool 2 was just on a new level that we didn't see in Deadpool 1, and it made it so much better. So much better. Because he had a response to everything. And it was always witty and fucking hilarious. I loved it.
So to sum it up, the writing in this movie was top notch.
Absolutely.
With the exception of a couple of relationships
Yes.
in there. But I do want to move into David Leitch real quick.
Before we move on to that,
Yeah.
I do have one thing that I wish they would have explored further. That we did say that they left pretty much nothing unexplored. There was one thing I wish they would have explored a little bit further was Cable.
Oh no, I'm not talking about characters. I was talking about just in general jokes. Ways to play
I
jokes
got
in the
you.
movie. They left
Okay,
nothing
okay.
unexplored.
I definitely would have liked to see Cable explored a little bit more. We don't even get Cable in his fullest form that we know of because Cable we get the teleportation, we get the telekinetic powers that he has. You don't see any of that in this movie. Where they do a good job showing how powerful Cable is, and I feel like Cable was already so overpowering for Deadpool that I felt like if you would have given him those powers, it would have been no match, and if you made Deadpool beat him in the end, it would have looked stupid.
Yeah.
So I like the way they did that. Maybe if they want to continue this relationship, that they introduce some of that, maybe at least the telekinetic powers. I felt like that would have been, or the mind reading powers would have been awesome to play off of with Deadpool. That would have been fantastic.
So like again, with Cable, it would have been very hard to flesh out the entire character in one movie.
Right.
He has a lot of aspects to him. So I do fully expect to see Cable again in another movie.
I do too.
However, the teleportation might have been a little confusing to throw in this movie, but yes, the telekinetic powers would have been like you could have played off that.
You
could
could have played off that so well with Deadpool and Cable. That would have been awesome.
And like you could have done you could have used that.
Cable wasn't a very funny character. He didn't have too many. He's not supposed to be, but that would have been able to make it hilarious in so many different ways that could have frustrated the hell out of Deadpool, but also been made or had Cable go, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" Which would have been awesome. It would have been great, real great.
By the way, I do want to backtrack real quick. 'Cause I didn't miss. I forgot to point out one thing. The oh no, I'm forgetting the word. The satirical humor on what?
God, you always lean off screen. God damn it!
Because I'm going to talk to you and then I'm going to miss the mic.
So move the mic, not you.
But the satirical humor basically making Deadpool ultra PC about racial appropriation and like gender equality and like
with a hint of racism.
He was like, "I'm not a racist."
I really liked that as well. You can't say that. That there was a lot of really good moments with that. I thought the character. I honestly, the relationship between Cable and Deadpool was better than the relationship between Deadpool and Russell.
No, I agree.
And that's where I had a little bit of an issue with the movie was because of that.
But I'll be honest, I would have been mad if it wasn't that way. Because Deadpool and Cable are the duo that have the established relationship.
That is true. That is true. I still would have liked to see.
They have a whole comic run to themselves.
They do.
So like,
I still would have liked to see more of a relationship with Russell and Deadpool, though.
But again, so
DP. The fact that he calls him DP.
Remember when he called Defender Brown Panther?
I'm telling you, the constant just references to the Marvel franchise, DC franchise were so on point in every way. Every way. And they're awesome. And honestly, there's so many of them, you might even miss a couple. But when you see them, they're
the jokes come fast and furious.
Yes,
they don't
do.
let up. Like, I feel like I do need a second viewing because I feel like I might have missed a lot of stuff.
Right.
Anyway.
And there's a lot of stuff that probably just went...
Yeah. Like the inside baseball stuff I mentioned.
Right. So then let's go ahead and break down the director.
My final positive is the director. Yes, David Leitch. Coming in, I expected David Leitch to at the very least, up the ante with the action. I expected him to outdo.
Well, that's what he's known for.
Yeah, because he co-directed John Wick 1 and 2. He
Right.
directed Time of Blind, which in my opinion was a shit movie, but the action scenes are great.
Right.
So I came in here expecting nothing less as far as the action is concerned. And
Which
it
honestly,
delivered.
because of how Atomic Blonde went,
Yeah.
you got to believe that there was more than just David Leitch involved in the making of this film, because he's not known for his humor. And he's not known for dialogue or anything like that. He's known for just having a character that's a total badass, and he did that really well.
That's what I'm saying. He did what I needed him to do, which was deliver on the action scenes. And these action scenes were all top notch, especially the intro.
Yes, absolutely. The action scenes were the cinematography in the intro was awesome. The slow-mo effects.
Who was the cinematographer in this movie?
I don't know, but it was awesome. The slow-mo effects mixed in with the fight scene that was going on in slow-mo half the time was incredible. It was perfect in so many ways. And it really showed the direction and the level of direction that David Leitch was bringing to this movie that we didn't see in Deadpool 1. He took it to a new level. And that's what made that scene in particular that much better, is the fact that we had a true action director helming this.
I'm really familiar with this guy. It's Jonathan Sella. He also did cinematography for John Wick.
So he just kept his friend.
Yeah.
Transformers: The Last Night and The Midnight Meat Train. I have seen that movie, actually.
I was invited to see that movie, and I refused to go.
It's actually not that bad.
It looked horrible.
It's not that bad.
Then again, I'm not a fan of slashers anyway, so
Fair enough.
But yeah. So I thought this movie outdid the action scenes of the first one every way. You think of the right movie?
You might be thinking of the wrong movie,
No,
because
I'm-
this is back in 2008.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I know this is exactly the movie I'm thinking
Okay.
of.
Because I saw it when we were in high school.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, yeah. So this movie, I think it outdid the action scenes of the first in every way, and
Oh, absolutely.
I thought comedy wise, I thought it was funnier and it was more packed with jokes, and I think that's just an effect of having more Deadpool in this movie.
Oh, no doubt.
You had more Deadpool in this movie.
You
than
had a
Deadpool
lot
1,
more
'cause
Deadpool
You didn't
in
have
this.
to set up
Right,
Wade Wilson.
you'd have to build the character and show that what's behind it. You already had him there ready to go, and you got Deadpool from the beginning. You got a lot more Wade Wilson than you would have thought, but Wade Wilson was Deadpool.
Yeah.
It wasn't Wade Wilson as we knew it in the beginning of the first movie. It was Wade Wilson as Deadpool.
Yeah.
He was constantly in the Deadpool mindset and
Yeah.
and the Deadpool, I guess, mindset throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
Even when he wasn't in the costume, he was still Deadpool.
Now, one thing I do really appreciate, I don't know how much David Leitch had to do with this, but this really brought over the better than the first one. This brought over the more slapstick nature of Deadpool too. You saw that with like when he in that cable fight when he fell against the table and his like battery's just like laying there, or like when he has that fence spike stuck through his head and he's just like, what the fuck?
Or
getting ripped in half by Juggernaut.
Or the part where they're flying through the air after the explosion. He talks about Cable about to have a really bad day. It's about to get even worse, and he goes nuts to face. That part was great.
But yeah, so the slapstick gags, that was, you didn't see a lot. You saw some of it in Deadpool, you didn't see a lot of it. I thought they upped that in this one too.
Yeah, they did.
I don't know how much David Leitch had to do with that, but
Probably not a lot, knowing the kind of director that he is. You probably had a lot of advisors in terms of the comedy, with the script. I bet you the writers had a lot to do with that. Knowing what type of director that David Leitch is, I just don't see him doing that type of stuff, because you didn't get any of that in any of his other movies. So
now, a couple side notes.
yes,
Thank God they got Juggernaut right.
yeah,
Because my God, X-Men Last Stand was he made a small Juggernaut. That's
Juggernaut ain't small. He's big, real big.
and he was dope in this movie. And then a little trivia for you. You know who played Juggernaut? Because remember I pointed it out in the credits. I said Juggernaut as himself.
Yeah,
And we were like, what
we
does that
talked
even
about
mean?
this.
But do you know who played Juggernaut?
I can't remember now, because we talked about this.
I didn't know. I didn't catch it until I need to know who the fuck plays Juggernaut.
Who was it?
Ryan Reynolds.
Really? Yeah. Fair enough. All right. So Ryan Reynolds rips himself in half. I like it.
By the way,
I love how Ryan Reynolds plays his favorite superhero character. And it ain't Deadpool.
So, oh yeah, there was going back to I totally forgot to mention this in the negatives, but I just want to get your opinion on this. So, do you think that any of the fourth wall breaks detracted from the movie at all?
Not at all. I think it adds to it. I enjoy the fourth wall breaks that Deadpool brings to the movie because you kind of expect it now.
I'm referring to one in particular, and that was the fight between Cable and Juggernaut, which is a big climactic fight in the movie.
Right.
Do you think it short-sold the fight when Deadpool goes, here big CGI fight coming in 3, 2, 1?
No, I don't, because that's Deadpool. I feel like if they were to over-dramatize a fight in a Deadpool movie, it wouldn't be a Deadpool scene. It would be an action movie scene. This isn't really an action movie. It's a Deadpool movie. It's its own thing. I feel like adding that into it makes people understand that, hey, none of this is fucking serious.
Yeah.
This is all one big joke.
And that's why I agree with you. But there were a lot of people I was hearing that thought that short sold a big fight in the scene.
I disagree
they
because
said it sucked them out of the fight, basically what they said.
Yes, but I think they kind of go for that.
Yeah.
I think they want you to take this for what it's worth.
By the
Take
way,
it as
the way
with a grain of
Juggernaut
salt.
defeated was fucking genius too.
Yes, it was. With a fucking wire up his ass.
And they electrocute him in the water.
Yup.
Yeah. But
It was great.
So that was based in the movie. Do you want to talk about the post-credit scene now or after we do our rating?
Let's talk about it now, because we'll do the rating as the final thing. Close it out with that.
Okay.
There was one thing I did want to say, but I can't remember. Well, fucking move on.
So, I don't know about you. I thought this post-credit scene was an all-timer.
This post-credit scene was great.
May have been the best post-credit scene of all time.
Amazing.
And basically what happened was
He went back in time.
because at the end, Cable uses his last little battery thing that he can use to time travel, which Deadpool himself
bring Deadpool back.
Which Deadpool himself went on his lazy writing. But, so you can't even knock it because
that's breaking the fourth wall.
No.
That takes a serious moment and makes it what it's supposed to be for a Deadpool movie, which is totally not serious.
Well, he didn't bring it up in that moment. He brought it up way earlier when he said he only had
still
two.
talked about lazy writing towards the end too. He talked about lazy writing multiple times.
No, it was way earlier when Cable revealed that they had one battery to get him there and one battery to get him back.
There was another lazy writing reference in the final scenes. Yes, you'd have to go see it again. I'm positive.
What was it about?
It was about that, about how they brought him back. Yes.
Anyway, so he'd use his last battery, and then you saw Negasonic Teenage Warhead and her girlfriend, I can't remember her name,
Me neither.
fixing Cable's time travel device.
It was Yukion or something like that.
Where did he keep calling her? Yu-Gi-Oh, was it? Or?
Yukia or something. Yukia.
No, where did he keep calling her?
Yukia.
I
think so.
I thought he was calling her something else.
No, it's supposed to sound like Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
it's a play on that, but it's like Yukio or something like that.
But so we saw him fix Cable's little time travel device, and then then Deadpool gets a hold of it, and then the first thing he does is he goes back in time. I believe the first thing he does is he goes back in time and saves Vanessa.
Yes.
Stops that from ever happening.
Yes.
And then the second thing he does is go back in time to save he saves the X-Force.
Mm-hmm.
By
Peter.
Well, no, did
he saves Peter.
Did you do that first or did you do Vanessa first? I'm trying to remember. I think he did the X-Force
I think
first.
he did Peter first. Not the X-Force, just Peter.
You thought he was going back in time to save the X-Force.
No, just
and you
Peter.
find out he just goes to right when
Peter!
Walk
away!
He just goes back to right before Peter died. Spear was the last one to die. And he just saves Peter.
Oh, man.
And then where it gets even more outrageous is he goes back to X-Men Origins, Wolverine.
Yep.
And you see the abomination of a Deadpool talking to Wolverine, and then he kills him.
Yep.
He shoots him dead right there, and then he keeps firing as he's
and then he sees Ryan Reynolds sitting at a desk reading a script and liking it.
And saying, this is going to be my big break.
And it's Green Lantern. And then he kills Ryan Reynolds.
And then apologizes to Kando for killing Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, man.
What a way for Ryan Reynolds to retcon his own movies.
Yes. That post-credit scene was great. Every moment of it. Every single moment. Oh man.
Safe to say we're buying this one as soon as it comes out.
Yes, I will definitely be buying this movie on Blu-ray or 4K if I have a 4K TV by then. I hope so, but I'm definitely buying this movie. Definitely buying it. I loved it all throughout. It seriously was hilarious. It was not as well made as the first one, but it was a lot funnier.
Yeah.
The action scenes were better, but the story itself wasn't. But the action scenes were better. The comedy was on another level all throughout. So I enjoyed this one more. I still think the first one is a little bit better of a movie, but this one I definitely enjoyed a lot more.
I think I enjoyed this one more in almost all aspects for me.
Fair enough. So let's go ahead and rate it on a letterbox rating. Andrew, what's your score there?
It's 4.5 for me. Out of 5
For,
stars.
for me, I because I can only do it in half increments here, I'm gonna go a flat 4-star, but it's one of the highest 4 stars you can give it without being a 4.5.
It was kind of like when I said, what did I give like the strongest 4, or strongest 4.5 that I ever given, or strongest?
I don't remember what it was.
No, Avengers said it was the strongest 4.5 that I ever given.
Right.
Yeah.
Again, I can't quite give this a 4.5 because I don't think it's a 90% movie. It's higher than a 4-star though. It's definitely higher than an 80%. So.
Oh no, I never said 90%.
Well, that's what 4.5 stars
it's
equals.
Close enough to. It's close for my. You'll see in my rating.
Right.
It's close
No, I know.
enough to 90%.
Right, I know, but I don't think it's that close for me just because of the fact of the story and some of the relationships not being believable. But this movie is fantastic all throughout. It's well made. It's hilarious. It definitely keeps you engaged. It has a lot of fun. So 4 stars, but a really, really strong 4-star.
And then,
Rotten Tomatoes,
percentage wise, I give it 88%.
88. That's a solid percentage. I see what you mean by the 4.5. I gave it an 86.
Okay.
Slightly lower,
I see
a
what you
little
mean by the
closer
4.
to a 4-star, but a strong 4-star. Again, really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. Definitely go see it, guys. It's amazing. Amazing.
Absolutely. It is well worth the watch. I will say,
Opening weekend.
you probably should see Deadpool 1 for this one.
Absolutely should see Deadpool 1
because
for this one.
You
get a lot of the
you'll get
relationships.
the relationship between Vanessa and Deadpool, which is an
Which is a
relationship
major
in the
motivation
film.
in this movie.
You're kind of not gonna even understand who the hell Weasel is, because they don't really do anything with, like, he's just there. So you're gonna be questioning a lot. Depender.
You're not gonna
be
understand.
questioning a lot.
Yep, Depender, and you're gonna get the fucking giant silver guy.
You're gonna get him a lot more because they set him up really well in the first one.
Yeah,
which was really funny.
That's what I'm saying though. With the
yeah.
first one, you get if you see him in the first, you get a better view of him in the
exactly.
second.
That's what I'm saying. Because also that says a really funny gag at the end when he was dying. He just say fuck for me one time, just please.
Fuck.
Oh, you're going to hell.
Oh yeah, that was a good one too. You get a lot of the characters that you definitely. I think honestly, it's a need to see 1 before 2.
Yeah.
2 will still be funny, but it's a need to see 1 before 2. Absolutely. It definitely helps if you've seen Justice League or at least Batman vs Superman.
Also, you've seen as many movies as possible.
Yeah, superhero movies as possible.
Catch some Josh Brolin movies.
Yes.
Catch
Definitely
catch
helps
superhero movies
to get all the jokes. But if you know kind of the premise of them, you'll be all right. But overall, go see.
But they make movie. They make references. They make references to Terminator.
They do.
Call him John Connor.
I mean, they had a whole intro that made a reference to James Bond.
Yep.
And Adele's intro music to it with Celine Dion, which we've actually heard on the show. I believe we played it. But
obviously made a reference to Basic Instinct.
Yes.
But yeah. It goes.
Either way, though, guys, see it. I highly recommend it. Great movie. You'll seriously enjoy it. Anyways, guys, that is going to close it out for our review. Andrew, thank you for hanging out and doing this with me earlier than usual. This is first time in a long time we've done anything during the day.
In the morning right now.
It's 1, Andrew. It's 1.
Come on, make it seem more impressive, man.
Okay. It's definitely the first time we've done something during the day in a while. We normally are night owls in the show. But anyways, guys, check us out on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays on www.twitch.tv/thefanreport at 9 p.m. Eastern is when we go live every single night. On Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays, I should say.
Yeah.
You could also check us out on Twitter at Real Fan Report. We give updates on show times, when we go live, topics, as well as you could suggest topics. And we also talk with you guys a lot too. So hit us up on Twitter at Real Fan Report. Again, it's literally right there. You can search us up on Facebook as well, at Real Fan Reporters. Just search for that. You can find us. That's our tag there. Just like us on Facebook as well. We're not as active on Facebook as we are on Twitter, but we definitely are active on Facebook as well.
Yeah.
But anyways, hit us up on Stardust. Just download the app on your phone. Immediately go and follow Fan Report, and you'll see all of our reactions immediately following movies. Immediately following every movie we see, we post reactions. We even post pre-actions from the seats before the show as well to show our excitement for what we're about to watch. So definitely check it out. It's, Snapchat for movie buffs. So we really enjoy the app. It's a lot of fun. But anyways, guys, thank you so much again. We hope you enjoyed the review. Definitely go see this movie. This has been the Fan Reporters. Bye, fans.
For fans.
Coming at you guys live from Detroit, Michigan.
Do it again. Detroit, Michigan.
Wow, hello. Anyways, guys, thank you again. Have a good weekend. Peace out.